Taiwan has hundreds of mountains and amazing views. Yushan is the highest peak in Northeast Asia. It attracts hikers from all over the world. Every year, it has about 40,000 visitors. Children and grown-ups all have beautiful memories of Yushan. However, starting from 2,500 meters above sea level is where high mountain reactions occur. Hikers are walking far in unfamiliar environment, in low temperature, low pressure, and low oxygen. Such extreme pressures also causes climbers to experience discomfort while they're hiking up. Sometimes they need to descend immediately, otherwise casualties could occur. Therefore, it is very important for hikers to understand the body's reactions while on high mountain activities and how to effectively handle and prevent such problems. You're up at the top early?
No, we have team members with severe headache, nausea about 500 meters from the main peak. It's probably high altitude sickness, so we started going down.
I think I won't be able to make it to the top, but it's okay. Even though there was only 200 meters left to the summit, the mountain will always be there. We'll get down first and come back next time. Normally, walking for 2 or 3 hours could cause cramp. Other reasons include not enough warm-up, imbalance of electrolyte, muscle tear or damage, lack of sleep, hunger, or wearing clothes too tight. Prevention include proper warm-up, enough electrolyte during the hike, and good food, not wearing clothes too tight, and keeping warm. The first step to handling a cramp is to rest, then to pull the muscle toward the opposite direction where it's contracting. Then supplement with electrolyte or sports drinks or eat fruit. Massage and covering it with ice can take away the pain of the cramp. After handling the cramp, you can start walking, preferably with a hiking cane. There's a thing we say, the good one goes to heaven and the bad one goes to hell, which means that the leg without the cramp goes up first, and the leg with the cramp goes down first.
I started feeling really tired about 1.2 kilometers from the Payun cottage. I have a headache and I feel like vomiting. What happened to you? Are you all right? We'll help you up. I have a headache and I want to vomit. After reaching the Payun cottage, the workers took me to the service station, which had lots of medicine and equipment to deal with high-altitude sickness. After putting on the oxygen mask, I still felt very uncomfortable and started having difficulty breathing. The doctor on site diagnosed me with severe high-altitude sickness, and we had to descend immediately. So with the help of fellow hikers, we descended even through the night, and I got much better after coming down.
According to our previous studies, about 30% of hikers who hike Yushan are diagnosed with acute high mountain sickness. According to the diagnosis commonly used for acute high mountain disease is the Lake Lewis High Altitude Consensus. The symptoms include headaches, nausea, dizziness, feeling weak, and insomnia. These 5 symptoms. So if you have headache, plus any one of the other 4 symptoms, then that is the diagnosis for acute mountain sickness. If a hiker has 3 out of the 5 symptoms mentioned above, we can diagnose him with acute mountain sickness. Normally, acute mountain sickness worsens during the night. For example, the hiker mentioned before had headache, dizziness, and he felt weak. Also, he couldn't sleep at night, and he was vomiting. Acute mountain sickness symptoms like these all occurred. If his symptoms get worse, for example, he's coughing with phlegm and blood, or has difficulty breathing, or cannot walk straight, for example, if we walk with our toes following our heels and he cannot walk straight, or even if he's delusional, he will need to descend immediately. With acute mountain sickness, usually, as long as you get below 500 to 1,000 meters above sea level, the symptoms become better. This is strange. I'm lying down and I can't sleep well. Maybe sitting up will be better. Oh, I feel like vomiting. I don't feel so good. I feel terrible. I need to get down the mountain. This hiker started to have severe vomiting in the middle of the night. Also, he had difficulty breathing. Even though it was in the middle of the night, he still had to hurry and get back to Paiyun Cottage. The next day, he had to descend immediately. Therapy for high-altitude sickness include the following types. Number 1, to stop ascending. Number 2, to supply with more oxygen. Number 3, to supply with drugs. And number 4, to descend immediately. Apart from giving them drugs, the other 3 ways are the ways that one can handle himself without a doctor present. So what if you have high-altitude sickness while hiking? What shall you do? We can follow the golden rules which an American doctor came up with in treating high-altitude sickness in 1997. The first step is to assume that any sickness occurring in the high mountains is high mountain altitude sickness. The second step is to not go any higher with symptoms of high altitude sickness. The third is if the symptoms are getting worse, descend immediately. And the fourth, do not let any patient with high altitude sickness be left alone. In the mountain, if everybody can be honest about their own symptoms and care about their partners and always remember these 4 steps in the golden rule, we are sure that everyone can enjoy the fun of hiking. The best peak experiences for the hikers is based on knowing when to continue and when to stop. As soon as you can't adjust to the 3 low, which is low temperature, low pressure, and low oxygen, then you must take the strategy of 3D, which means descend, 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 to ensure your safety.